God, finally, I have wanted to do this and I finally did it, guys. If you're into soup dumplings or called xiaolongbao, come on down, guys, because I got the recipe, I got the how-to, and I got the flavor happening here. I'm so excited. Recipe is available at kcknh.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. This awesome dish comes to you from Nanshang, Shanghai. Over 150 years, guys, this has been around, and it does bring forth a lot of technique, a lot of flavors. This is probably one of the most beautiful food out there that you could experience. And it does require a team. You can imagine 3, 4, 5, even 6 people in restaurants are probably making this at one given time. However, I have found a way to be able to do this at home, but it does require you to do something the night before, and you got to boil down some favorite stock. Beef stock, veggie stock is going to need probably agar or gelatin, but you could do any animal bone stock here and boil it down and get it chilled in the fridge because you're going to need that meat jelly for the next day. We're using traditional ingredients. It's either going to be ground pork or crab. So ground pork it is for cost effectiveness, and I love ground pork in this. Now you don't need to have a bamboo steamer for this. Just look online for other options of doing steamer setups in your home kitchen. It can be done. Matter of fact, the Vietnamese have been able to perfect that art, so you might want to go that way. So right away, we're going to dive in. We've got one mixing bowl, and guys, everything here is available on my website. I've got a couple of snipped images I'm going to share, and of course the video you're watching right now. In that bowl, we have got a hefty supply of ginger and garlic puree. We are truly using one full bunch of scallions for this. There's going to be some beautiful gardeny flavors in this mixture, and the nice part about the spices, you can find them everywhere. Don't care where you are. You can even find them at the dollar store. Very important to remember when we're doing a mix for dumplings, or even ravioli for that matter. It's very important that your knife cuts are on point, no pun intended. You want to do everything as small as possible. Very important to remember that. The next ingredient is Napa cabbage. I actually prefer to use this when I'm making dumplings that have vegetables in it. If you can't find it, just use a little common sense. There's plenty of options out there, so you don't have to stress over it. It's not worth it, guys. Just go and grab what you like. But you gotta do some really good knife cuts here, so get it super small and get that also into your mixing bowl. The rest here that you're seeing on the video, I actually made for a separate soup. So into that bowl, I'm adding tamari. You can use soy sauce if you want. It's your choice. Oyster sauce definitely makes a difference here, guys. And we're using some Shaoxing wine. You don't have to use the wine if your religion prohibits it. Just make the decision on your own. It's so easy to do that, guys. And we've got this recipe set up with very basic spices. Chinese 5-spice you can get everywhere, it seems. We even have dollar stores that sell that. And I'm adding a little bit of white pepper. Asian cuisine typically does not use black pepper, so white pepper really does make a difference, guys. So just keep that in mind. Go back to the dollar store, they've got it there too. And of course, we have to have a little bit of a binder, so we're putting in some farm fresh eggs. Look how nice and dark colored that yolk is. Love a good dark colored yolk. So now we're going to start incorporating these ingredients in the bowl here. Eventually, you do need to go into one direction aggressively. I know I've said it in other dumpling videos before, but I'll say it again. Myosin. You gotta develop it. You're gonna see the ground pork changing beyond what you're normally used to seeing it as. It'll almost come off as a pate. Now, if you did this the night before, which you do need to, we're doing meat jelly, or aspic is the term used here. This is what we want to add to the mixture for the dumplings. This is what gives you the soup component. So chop this up as fine as you can. Be mindful that you do need to be a little quick about it because room temperature is going to start melting it. So you don't want to take too much time. And mix this into your mixture here and get it back into the fridge for about 30 minutes because we want to keep it nice and cold. That makes a big difference when we go to start forming the dumplings. And yes, it is a mess. Just deal with it. So here are a couple of stills on the process. I know some folks like a couple of stills here and there, but let's dive into the actual process. Now this does take a lot of practice. Do not get frustrated, guys. I assure you it does take time. You could do the basic folds as well. You're still going to have the same soup effect regardless of how you're folding these. But as you'll see here, we're anchoring the pleats of dough into one section right there on my thumb. And we're creating the pleat and pinching. Pleat, pinch, pleat, pinch. This can be difficult as you get towards the end. Don't worry about it. Squeeze a little of the filling out if you have to. And go ahead and pinch and twist at the end. That's the easiest thing for you to do. Go for it. No judgment here. For me, it's a little difficult because I've got some gouty fingers. My knuckles seize up on me, so sometimes it's a little challenging. But it's good physical therapy, actually. So we're doing another here. We're doing the pleat and pinch. Pleat and pinch. You can see the dough piling up there on my thumb. And the goal is to seal this up, or you can leave a little bit of a pinhole at the top of it. Either way is going to work beautifully. And you just repeat this until all your dumpling wrappers are gone. And I have a separate tray off camera that's got a little cornstarch on it that I'm placing my formed dumplings. So here you have a nice little soup dumpling, little adorable thing. And we're going to go crazy on this. Now, again, earlier in the video I said you do not have to have a bamboo steamer. Does it make your life better? It always does. Always does. They're not expensive, guys. You can go online or go to your nearest Chinatown, go to an Asian market. They have all different shapes and sizes. They even have them in metal. But I've got the basic setup here. And into the pan, you only want to have just enough water for about a 1/4 inch upward from the bottom. You don't want it coming through the openings of the tray. Now here, I saved the outer leaves of my Napa cabbage. I didn't want to throw them away, but I'm going to use them to line my trays as we want to make sure the dumplings don't stick to the bamboo because there's going to be a little bit of movement in the dough as it steams. So as you can see here, we're just strategizing how these leaves are going to be placed. And I want to ultimately make sure that every area is covered, that I know that I'm going to put the dumplings in. Some of these leaves, I did have to crack them a bit on the thick white parts. And now we're going ahead with the placement. Now, I try to keep a little bit of room in between. It's okay if they touch each other, but you just have to be mindful. You're going to have to pull them out when they're done cooking. So be very gentle with it. So now we got the lid on and we're setting the timer for 10 minutes. And here we are. Look at the dumplings, guys. They've moved in. They took a little extra real estate, which is what we expected. And here I'm just demonstrating how that soup element comes through. This is actually how you eat it. You take a bite or you snip it and you let the soup drain into a spoon. And this one little dumpling had that much soup, guys. Delicious. Oh, and take a look at how they came out, guys. I'm so wicked proud to show you. Look at the beautiful, beautiful formed dumplings. I've got a couple of different folds happening here because I love to have a little variety. And you can use any dipping sauce you want for this or keep it simple. Thanks so much for joining me. I am so happy that you guys are here. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and join me along anytime. Thank you for joining.